So simply, if you have a coil like that, whose dipole moment is in this direction, and this is placed in a magnetic field B, as a resultant, the torque is produced N, which is equal to M cross B. This is known as a torque. This is the torque produced by the current, by the magnetic moment in the external magnetic field. So now this magnetic field B is the uniform magnetic field. So now if the magnetic field is non-uniform, then what happens? In the case of non-uniform magnetic field, for example, this is the solenoid and these are the windings of this solenoid. As a result, and you know that the magnetic field is inside and outside to the solenoid. This is the magnetic field inside and outside to the solenoid. If we have a ring like that, this is the ring which is on the top of the magnetic field. It means the magnetic line of force which touches the ring is not a uniform magnetic field. Because here, if we say that this is the ring, the current is flowing in it, and this is in the magnetic field, this is the magnetic field, this is the magnetic field here coming out from the solenoid. This is the magnetic field coming out from the solenoid. This is the B and this is the current I, and it is this magnetic moment M is in this direction. So in this case, the magnetic field which touches the coil is a non-uniform magnetic field. So in this case of the non-uniform magnetic field, the magnetic field is in this direction B. The force on this will be in the downward direction F. So this force in this particular case F is equal to the divergence of, gradient of M dot B. This is the force on the coil. When the coil or loop whose dipole moment is M is placed in a non-uniform magnetic field, so as a resultant, the force on that coil, that dipole moment is equal to gradient of M dot B. And this M is the magnetic dipole moment and B is the external magnetic field. So this is the equation for the magnetic dipole moment. So this is the complete story of when the magnetic dipole moment experiences the torque and force. So now here, if we say that so here, if the effect of the magnetic field on the atomic orbitals, effect of the magnetic field on the atomic orbitals. Simply, let's say this is the orbit, this is the electron is revolving in this orbit. This is the electron. Electron is revolving in the orbit, its dipole moment is in this direction. So M is the dipole moment of the electron. When the electron is revolving or orbiting around the nucleus. and placed in the external magnetic field B. The orbiting electron of mass m moving with the velocity v in the external magnetic field. So here the magnetic moment M is equal to current times area. The magnetic moment which M interact with the external magnetic field B, we know that the magnetic moment M is equal to current times area of the loop. So this is known as a magnetic moment is equal to current multiplied by area. So as a general, M is equal to I into A. So M is equal to I current into area. Current, you know that it is the flow of charges per unit time. And area is equal to pi r square. This is the electron. Electron has a negative charge, so therefore this is the minus sign. This negative sign is because the electron is a negatively charged particle. This t is the time period, and time period is defined as simple equation. You know that S is equal to Vt, and this t is equal to S upon V. This t is a time period, then S will be equal to circumference, which is equal to 2 pi r upon V. So substitute this value of t over there. You will get M is equal to minus E upon 2 pi r upon V into pi r square. This pi cancel, r single goes. So this goes V upward. So here this M is equal to minus 1 upon 2 E V R. So this is known as a magnetic dipole moment, which is equal to minus 1 upon 2 E V R. This is the magnetic dipole moment due to the moving electron, due to the orbiting electron. It means the electron is orbiting around the nucleus. It has a magnetic dipole moment, which is equal to minus 1 upon 2 E V R. E R and this V goes to this. This is 1 upon 2. Minus indicates because it is the electron. So this is the magnetic dipole moment. So now electron is orbiting, and you know that when the electron is orbiting around the nucleus, you are very much familiar in the equation which Bohr gave, that the angular momentum or centripetal force must be equal to the Coulomb force. That's why the electron is orbiting. So here this electron is orbiting. Its centripetal force is in this direction towards center. Centripetal force, which is always towards the center here. So here the Coulomb force, the direction of the Coulomb force is always from positive charge to the negative charge. So from positive charge is the nucleus and negative charge is the electron. So the Coulomb force is this, which is in the opposite. So this Coulomb force will be balanced by the centripetal force. As a resultant, the electron is orbiting around the nucleus. So the electron is orbiting around the nucleus when the Coulomb force is balanced by the centripetal force. The electron is orbiting around the nucleus when the Coulomb force is balanced by the centripetal force. Coulomb force is balanced by the centripetal force. So here Coulomb force is equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught charge square upon distance square, and centripetal force is equal to mv square upon r. So this is called the Coulomb force, which is balanced by the centripetal force. So as a resultant, this electron is orbiting around the nucleus. So here, this 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught E square upon R square is equal to Coulomb force, and this is the centripetal force. So now if this orbit is placed in the external magnetic field, when it is placed in the external magnetic field, as a resultant, this magnetic field will exert force on this orbiting electron. So this force will change the velocity of the electron, because if you look here, the charge will not change, the orbital distance will not change, the mass of the electron will not change. So which thing will change? The velocity of the orbiting electron. So when the orbiting electron placed in a magnetic field, in the external magnetic field, it will change the velocity of the orbiting electron. And the force F is equal to, you know that, QV into V. So now the velocity is not a V, but velocity we call it as a V dash. And the charge is a Q. Here we have a single electron, so E V dash into V. So this is the force on the charge when it is placed in an external magnetic field. So now as a resultant here, if we look here, if we look here, the total force is now the Coulomb force, which is equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught E upon R square. This is the Coulomb force, plus magnetic force QV dash B is equal to the centripetal force mv dash square upon R. So now, in the case of the external magnetic field, the total force will be the electrical force plus magnetic force is equal to the centripetal force. So now the both forces, Coulomb force and magnetic force, is acting upon it, because the moving charge is now placed in the external magnetic field V. So in the external magnetic field, the moving charge will experience the force, which is equal to this. So therefore, the total force will be equal to the electrical force plus magnetic force, and sum of both forces is equal to the centripetal force here. So now here, if we look here, this QV dash B is equal to mv dash square upon R minus, if you bring this into this side, 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught E upon R square, and this is equal to the Q dash VB. QV dash B is equal to mv dash square upon R minus, and this is equal to the mv square upon R. Because in the absence of the magnetic field, the Coulomb force is equal to the magnetic force. Coulomb force is equal to the centripetal force. and this Coulomb force is equal to the centripetal force. Here we have a V, original velocity. Here we have a V dash in the presence of the magnetic field. So now instead of 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught E upon R square, we have substituted the value of centripetal force because the Coulomb force is balanced by the centripetal force in the absence of the magnetic field. So here this equation becomes Q V dash B is equal to M upon R is a common. So this is V dash square minus V square. So this can be rewrite as Q dash VB is equal to so here Q dash VB is equal to M upon R. This is equal to V dash minus V and V dash plus V. This is the difference of two square. V dash square minus V square is equal to this. So in this is V dash is the presence of the magnetic field and this V is in the original velocity in the absence of the magnetic field. If V dash is approximately equal to V, not equal to but approximately, it means the change in V dash, change in velocity is very small, almost nothing. So the change in velocity is almost nothing, so very small. So we say that V dash is equal to V. Therefore, if V dash is equal to V, so to V dash minus V is known as a delta V. V dash minus V is approximately equal to delta V, which is very small because they both are not exactly equal. V dash is different from V. So therefore, I cannot substitute it here as 0 because there is a difference. That's why I have put it here the sign of approximately equal, not exactly equal. So if this is approximately equal, then V dash is approximately equal to the V. V dash minus V is equal to delta V, and V dash plus V is equal to approximately equal to 2V. So therefore, this equation number 2, let's say, so the equation number 2 becomes Q V dash B, or V dash is approximately equal to V, so Q VB is equal to M upon R. This V dash into V is equal to delta V, and this V dash into V is equal to 2V. So VV cancel. So here delta V is equal to, this delta V is equal to QB. Q can be written as a E charge. E B R on this side upon mass into 2m. This is delta V, which we have obtained by using cross multiplication. Delta V is equal to R goes into this side, which is EBR. M goes into down, 2 goes into down, which is 1 upon 2m. So this is delta V, which is equal to this EBR upon 2m. So now we have to see what is the change in the magnetic dipole moment when placed in the external magnetic field. In the absence of the magnetic field, we have calculated the magnetic dipole moment of the orbiting electron is equal to minus 1 upon 2 EVR. This is the magnetic dipole moment of the orbiting electron in the absence of the magnetic field, which is in normal to the plane. We say that this is the direction of the, or K, which is along Z axis, which shows the direction of the magnetic dipole moment. This is the vector. In the presence of the magnetic field, this M will not remain same. There will be a change in M. There will be a change in M. So this change in M is known as a delta M. And this change in M is the change in the velocity because the charge cannot change. The orbiting radius will remain same. So only the velocity will alter in the presence of the external magnetic field. So in the presence of the magnetic field here, we say that in the presence of the in the presence of the external magnetic field, change in magnetic dipole moment is delta M, which is equal to minus 1 upon 2 E delta V R into unit vector. This delta V is this. So here delta M is equal to minus 1 upon 2 ER 2 ER into delta V. Delta V is equal to E B R upon 2N. So here this can be rewrite as delta M is equal to minus 1 upon 4, 2 into 2, 4M, E into E square, R into R square into B, E square, R square into B. So this is the change. This is the change in magnetic moment into direction. This is the change into the magnetic moment when this orbiting electron is placed in the magnetic field. So this, I'm writing it here. This is the change in magnetic moment in the opposite direction, because this negative sign shows that the change in opposite direction. So this is the effect of the magnetic field on the atomic orbitals when the orbitals are orbiting around the nucleus. So this is the end of our discussion.